John Smith. After separating from Mito and the others in Zetsu earldom, I went toward the royal capital by mixing myself among the walking refugees. I thought I would accomplish my goal there, but we cannot let you see Master if you don't have a letter of introduction. Go back to downtown at once, commoner. I was driven out by the mansion's servant in a brusque manner. The master of this mansion is a famous expert of magic tools, especially artificial limbs. I've come as far as the royal capital to replace my arm, which was eaten by that damn mantis. Damn you, gorilla, you'd look better in military uniform than a butler's. After confirming that the gorilla had disappeared beyond the door, I stood up while cursing him. Letter of introduction, hey. I try remembering my acquaintances in my mind. Sutari, the long elfkin who taught me the language of Shiga Kingdom. She's a beauty, but she's an undercover agent, no way she would have noble acquaintances. Next is the old man innkeeper of Puta Town. I was able to continue my journey after teaching mayonnaise recipe to that old man. He bragged that he was friends with the lord of the town, but it was probably just a big talk, I can't count on it. Come to think of it, after that, I journeyed together with a female guest of the inn. Ha, that guy was the worst. She almost sold me as a slave after getting me drunk. Ha, it'd been possible to buy noble position if I just had my smartphone and memo pad at that time. I try remembering the people of Ashrat Principality too. That red helmet said that he was the elder brother of the chief, so he must have been of ruling classes, but the distance is too far, and even if I got a letter of introduction from them, I don't know how effective it is in a kingdom that discriminates demi-humans like this. Next, I try remembering the people I met in Siriu earldom and Lesser earldom. Wasn't Lilio's plain beauty Captain Sana noble? I can't quite remember her name. She looks like a soft-hearted person. I think she would write a letter of introduction for me if I ask through Lilio. I recalled Mito, who was sleeping in a mysterious ruin, but she said, I'm not a noble, and in the first place, it's questionable whether she's a human or not, counting on her is fruitless. Lilio and the others said that they were going to Labyrinth City if I'm not mistaken. I vacate the restaurant that I lived in, and board the stagecoach heading to the Labyrinth City. The old man who owns the restaurant told me to stay and marry his daughter, but I refused since it's not possible for me to cook. I keep the fact that Lilio's face flashed in my mind when he talked about marriage a secret. Is one arm Nii-san going to the Labyrinth City too? Yeah, I want to meet an acquaintance. A kid who's sitting beside me in the coach talked to me. Breaking my don't talk to me aura while I was blending in the background, he's got quite a communication force. I thought I should stop you if you said that you wanted to be an explorer. The kid smiles befitting of his age while looking relieved. I thought of getting a job in the labyrinth after meeting Lilio, but it looks like I shouldn't bring up that subject. A lot of my acquaintances went to the Labyrinth City too, but it became half in a year, and there wasn't anyone left in 3 years. That sure is harsh. Yeah, it is. But, I'm different, YC? I was taught the way to fight by the town's gatekeeper. Defeating a goblin is easy as pie. I said, is that so? Do your best, to the boasting kid and shut my eyes. What the kid was saying felt like it'd be a flag, so I talked to no one until we arrived in the next town. Sorry, but this is as far as I can take you. From here on, you can walk to the Labyrinth City on foot. Oi! What does this mean? Didn't I pay you to go until the Labyrinth City? It's the Viceroy's requisition. Give it up. A man and the kid who were riding with me pressed on the coachman, but there's no way that a noble decision could be toppled in a kingdom that prefer nobles like this. The reason for the requisition is probably the swarm of meteorites that could be seen in the western sky this afternoon. The passengers were frightened, but judging from the time of the flash and the sound getting to us, the falling point should be more than 1,000 kilometers away, so it was a needless fear. It'd be a problem if the meteorite is as huge as the one that made dinosaurs extinct, but if that happened, no use in running anywhere anyway. I got tired of seeing the passengers harassing the coachman. After asking for the reimbursement, I try to look for a wagon heading toward the labyrinth city. Fortunately, within an hour I was able to ride on a wagon that was carrying shafts of spears, axes and hatchets. It seems growing plants is hard around the labyrinth city, so these kinds of woodworks are carried from the neighboring cities. It might be a seasonal thing, but there's a lot of young people heading to the labyrinth city. From children younger than even junior high school students to ones who are of high schooler age. There are many explorer applicants this year. The peddler who's driving the wagon talked to me while gazing the young people walking on the street. Is that so? At this time of the year, it's usual for many youngsters who aspire to become explorers to come out of the woodwork every year, but this year there are some people who defeated Floor Master and became nobles. A lot more kids are probably inspired by it. I see, not American Dream, but Labyrinth Dream. While thinking such a thing, the wagon entered a village protected by barrier pillars. When the wagon stopped at a square, a village head-like man in good clothing negotiated something with the peddler. Judging from the pattern of our lodging in villages so far, he's probably negotiating the rent for the wagon, water well, and selling woods for the fuel. The price for these is just several big copper coins, but it seems to be an important income for the village. The peddler traded some things required by the village like ointment and nails to decrease the cost. I watch the back of the wagon for thieves while the peddler is negotiating. According to the peddler, the danger of thieves is more prominent inside such a village than during the journey. During the season where a lot of youngsters are heading toward the labyrinth city, the royal capital's night order regularly patrol the highway, so thieves and such hide themselves far away. Besides us, there are a lot of youngsters in traveling clothes doing preparation to camp in the square. That said, their preparation only consists of them putting their mantles on the ground and napping on it, or preparing for meal. There are a lot of people who are only making bread porridge that consists of dried vegetables and black bread stewed together. It seems to be normal around here, but I was surprised when I saw black bread being stewed for the first time. Thank you for waiting. Let's have a dinner. Can I leave it to John today too? Yeah, leave it to me. I draw water from the nearby well, and then put it on the pot on top of the stove the peddler put. When I have the fund, first thing first, I'll make hand pumps and spread it to villages. The moment bubbles came out in the water in the pot, I put cereals and jerkies to make a risotto. The lump broke when the hot water boiled, and good smell from the spice overflowed. The other people in the square are looking here with envious look, but we don't have enough to split for them. It's the peddler's job to put the cooked instant risotto to the bowls. It's troublesome with just one arm, you see. I'd eat directly from the pot when I was alone. Yup, it's good. Don't you want to sell this? I think it'll sell well. Sorry, but it takes too much effort to make them. I bluntly declined the peddler's offer for the umpteenth time. I do want to mass produce it and get some nice profit, but I just don't have enough fund. There's no doubt that I can profit a lot if I cooperate with someone, but I can only see the future where my partner runs off with the profit afterward, so I don't intend to cooperate with anyone. I once heard that a Kaguya firm in the royal capital is buying idea, but I don't want to get close to it. Someone who named his firm like the name of a corrupt merchant in a historical drama can't be good. From I heard in the rumor, the firm seems to be peerless even against nobles. There's no doubt that he's probably a reincarnated or a transported person with administration cheat. Sooner or later, it looks like I'll clash with him, but if possible I want to do it after gaining enough power to. After crossing the mountain range before the labyrinth city, I saw the labyrinth city and the bald mountains behind it beyond the wasteland. There are more mountains even beyond that, and it seems to be the desert after that. Now I can finally rest easy from any more mountaineering. As we get closer to the mountain foot, the temperature gradually rises. Sheesh, the climate of this world is too free. It makes me doubt whether it's round. The temperature rose every time we got closer to the labyrinth city. It's almost unbelievable that the other side of the mountain is in spring climate. Okay, my water bottle is empty. No wonder when you drank that much. There's a well at the rest station you can see over there. You serious? I feel like I'll lose to the thirst. Sheesh, there should have been some vending machines if this is really a highway. I miss being in Japan. I look at the airships flying in the sky overhead, trying to forget my thirst. Impossible. It won't be hard if I can forget my thirst by just doing that. If you're thirsty enough to look like you'll die, why don't you just drink from the beria over there? Beria. You don't know? It's the one growing along the highway with spines for leaves. You can pluck off its long thin body or the leaves. I nod to the peddler, and collect the aloe-like succulent plants nearby. Following the instruction of the peddler, I cut off the top tip, and then eat the emerald green flesh with a spoon. Yuck! Is it that bad? It's slightly sour on top of smelling grassy. The coconut milk-like texture isn't so bad, but it's not something you'll eat by choice. It feels like I'll get diarrhea if I eat too much of them, so I throw them away to the side of the road after quenching my thirst. The next day, we got into the labyrinth city after passing through a gate protected by huge stone statues. I part way with the peddler on the main gate, and head toward the West Explorer Guild to see if Lilio and the others are there. Hey? Isn't it John? Lilio. Looks like I have a good fortune. The person I was looking for found me instead. What's wrong? Didn't you run after that beauty-san and went to the royal capital? I have some business with Lilio. I told Lilio about the letter of introduction. After telling me, I think it's no good, Lilio brought me to Marentale-san, the captain. Letter of introduction. Yet, I can't ask them to make me an artificial arm without a letter of introduction from a noble. Marentale-san's expression darkened after hearing me. I'm sorry. I am a member of nobles, but a letter written by a noble who isn't their relative will only get laughed off. It has to be at least written by the head of the house with baronage peer or higher. No good. Hey. Can't Iona-san do it? I'm from the house of a baron, but we're a branch family. If I wrote a letter of introduction carelessly, I might be scolded by the head. Lilio tried to talk with her sexy Oni-san co-worker, but it was quickly shot down. It's understandable, it's like asking a job from a former boyfriend of your friend if this were in the modern Japan. Geez, you're really unlucky. It'd have been better if you came before Sato-san departed. Sato? What kind of person is he? You see. I'm convinced after hearing Lilio's story. That guy is either a reincarnated person or a transported one. Moreover, judging from the story of Marentale-san's beginning of romance, the identity of the silver-masked hero who had a fist fight with the greater demon in Siriuhu City must be that Sato guy. Considering it's said that he has black hair and plain Japanese-like face, he must be a summoned hero. The current hero of Saga Empire should be called Masaki, so this Sato was probably summoned by another country. From the story of Saga Empire's spy, Sutari of the Long-Ear Kin, the people who were summoned by Rumoko Kingdom didn't have any cheat just like me, therefore, that cheat guy must have been summoned by someone else. Suddenly, I'm reminded of the meteor swarm from the other day and the stars fall thing that I just heard. Did that Sato guy use it by any chance? If that's true, then who the heck summoned Sato? If he was summoned by a country, then that country would have used that power to unify the whole world. It seems wars are happening on the eastern and western parts of the continent, but there's no sign of it in the center Shiga Kingdom and the neighboring countries. Therefore, the summoner should not be a country. Since he's fought against demons, it doesn't seem like the demons or the demon lords did it too. Perhaps, the summoner was the god? I imagine such a baloney. Marentale-san offered to ask for the letter of introduction from that Sato guy, but I flatly refused. Sato must be a cheat main protagonist type of man. There's no doubt that disturbances will happen in the places where he's at. I don't want to approach such a dangerous place. Moreover, Sato's girl Marentale-san is in this labyrinth city. Applying tales to real life is dangerous, but from my experience, this world has high affinity with tales. This place should be safe as long as she's here. Even if anything happened, Satub probably would appear to remove the danger before she got into crisis. I remained in this labyrinth city with a reason unsupported by anyone. Of course the reason is not just that. John, are you delving alone again? Yet. Won't you go with us? Sorry. I refuse the invitation of a rabbit folk who's wearing a blue mantle, and delve into the labyrinth alone. My objectives are treasure chests. Recently I've found pieces of magic recipe using berries fruit inside treasure chests in shallow floors. My intuition tells me that this is Satoshi's doing. From the rumor I've gathered in this labyrinth city, this Satoshi guy is a good-natured Japanese. That guy probably prepared the treasure chest event. Putting that aside, searching for this recipe pieces is attractive. Certainly the recipe will make me some profit, but there's another point to be excited about. Several days ago, the Viceroy of Selbera City announced that the explorer who found the last piece would be given the Chevalier Peerage. According to the rumor in the city, this was initiated by the Viceroy's follower, Baron Daihokalai, but even if they can't give me a peerage, a marquis should be able to write a letter of introduction. While checking my homemade map, I break through unexplored area. It's going to be difficult for the day trip soon. That said, exploring the labyrinth alone overnight is nonsense. I can declare that continuing the exploration without sufficient sleep even in the best condition is impossible. When I was thinking that I should go back soon, the stone monument in the passage began to blink. This is bad. It's a gushing hole. I throw the stink ball to the ground, and run away from that place. However, I was too impatient and didn't mind my steps. The moment my foot stepped on a large slate on the ground, that slate broke, and a pit appeared. I immediately threw the rope on my waist, but I had no Hiro revision that would make it coil around the passage as lumps. The fact that it was not a vertical pit, but a sloping one was my sole help. I have a good fortune. I wonder how many days have elapsed since I thought that. It looks like I've fallen to the passage just after the gushing hole where monsters appeared. According to the rumor in the labyrinth city, in 100 years, the only people who treaded upon the end of a gushing hole and came out alive were Satoshi and his companions. At present, every time I met a monster, I sneaked past ones I couldn't win against, and only fought against ones I could win like goblins and mock wolf, while advancing through the underground passage. This underground passage continued deep until a large room filled with spider webs, a dead end. Of course, there's probably a passage on the other side of the large room, but I know that the goblins presiding in the large room would be my end. I couldn't bring myself to recklessly challenge them. I was able to survive thanks to mayonnaise jar and rock candies that I always brought just in case, and water trickling on the passage wall. However, it's getting bad. I had ran out of mayonnaise on the second day, and the rock candy that I just ate was the last. Above all, a mantis bastard got stuck on the trap right beside the water source. My life would be in precarious state if I couldn't drink water. The special bullets, 3 remaining. Although, even if I use the gun, there's no way I can win against that mantis bastard. Ah! This is the checkmate. Hey! A bullet for the death with dignity. You half-dead person over there, can I have your time? Is it an auditory hallucination? If you can give me the knowledge I seek, I can grant you one wish you see. Or perhaps the devil? Even the devil's fine. Cure me from this thirst. Give me water. Here you go. The water I got was a cold water that was so good it couldn't be expressed in words. It feels like it's penetrating deep into my body. After escaping from the extreme situation, I talk to the man with my brain that finally starts to work a bit. What do you want to know? It's fine if it's just the way to make smokeless gunpowder or internal combustion engine, but it'd be bad if he asked the way to make nuclear weapons. It'd be the worst if he asked the way to make potassium cyanide or sarin. Teach me how to make dried gourd. Ha! I unintentionally let out a stupid voice. What, did he just, said? You don't know how to make dried gourd? No, with bottle gourd, you. I teach the man the way to make dried gourd while recalling it from my memories. It is that simple. Yet, the dried gourd that you want for sushi roll should be with that recipe. Apparently, he really wanted to know that. I can't see well with my hazy vision, but the man's delight didn't sound like an act. Thank you. Don't tell me you know how to make cola too. Why yet? I answered the questions the man asked. I feel like I even answered knowledge that I shouldn't have known too, but that must have been my imagination. Kuro-sama, this boy is. Treat him like a guest of honor. I've promised him to grant his wish, so call me when he's awoken. Certainly. I feel like I've heard those while being half asleep. The next morning, I woke up in a canopy bed that looked like it was made for nobles, and had a superb feast prepared by a beautiful maid-san for breakfast. This is a dream. I should have been in the bottom of the labyrinth with no way to escape. This is the revolving lantern scene before you die. I mean, my arm which should have been bitten off by that mantis bastard 1 year ago has been regrown. I move my fingers and ascertain its touch. It's fine even if this is a dream. With both hands, I can create administrative cheat items that I couldn't create up until now as much as I want. I noticed a letter by the pillow when I was trembling with delight. Parameters like from Yamato Stone are written on the letter. John Smith. It's my name in this world. Level 13. It seems my level has increased by 1 during my exploration. I recognized my skills too, like skill, burying, concealment, evading, and the last was an unfamiliar one, lost knowledge. Looks like I got the skill in the labyrinth. It seems my another world life has turned upward somewhat. After leaving a thank you letter and a letter written with knowledge of cooking for my lifesaver, I left the mansion behind using burying. My story in another world starts now. SS, Liza the Magic Spear. Shiga 8 Swords. They're the strongest swords of Shiga Kingdom that eliminate demons. I was taught those words by my father since I was small. I would have never imagined that I would have a bout against that Shiga 8 Swords, much less, winning against one. Who still can't make master go serious. Liza the Magic Spear, I'll let you serve under my Earl house. I'll give you the same salary as a human knight. Liza Dono, I wish for a match. Oneself is Kajiro of Jiaigain style. Are you interested in becoming a knight of the kingdom army? We'll welcome you not as a retainer but a holy knight. Invitations for matches and solicitations came to me one after another. I troubled master each time that happened. I felt as thought my body shrunk. I wonder how will master think about it this time? I'm worried master, who hates to be lionized by others, would hate me. Calming my upset mind, I practice the way of spear alone in the mansion's courtyard. The magic edge lights up the dark garden. Magic edge that was once something difficult is now as easy as breathing. If I told this to me from 1 year ago, there's no doubt that I'd be laughed off. I shake off such an idle thought and concentrate on the basic form. Pierce, sweep, hit. After finishing the basic form, I continue with the self-taught style I learned during the Labyrinth City's battles. I turn my body aside and then make a leg sweep with my tail. I sink my body with not just my leg, but also my tail, making use my whole body as a spring, and then stab with my awl. Ending the form, I felt a presence appeared in one corner of the courtyard after I made the motion of returning the sword to its scabbard. It's wonderful as always. Master. Our master appeared from behind a grove of tree where no one should have been. I could faintly feel Tama's concealment technique, but master's concealment is too natural, I can't sense it at all. Was I a bother with the sound? Not at all. The other girls are sleeping with such happy faces after all. Master talked gently to me, who was being timid, as if reassuring me. And, I put out cruel words to that kindness. If Liza is interested in Shiga 8 Swords, it's fine if you want to accept it, okay? Am I already unneeded? How cowardly of me! To think I said something like that while anticipating the gentle master to deny it. No way. It'd be lonely if Liza wasn't here. I let out a sigh of relief after hearing that. Nevertheless, I want to prioritize what Liza wants the most. If that's what Liza really wants, then I will respect that decision. Kindness may sometimes becomes poison. I understand that Master does not need anyone in the truest sense. Even so, I want to be with Master. I swear to my partner, Magic Spear, whose glowing red receiving my determination. Someday, an existence that can be relied upon by the aloof Master, I will become one. I don't remember whether I was able to speak those words in the end. However, surely my spear knows. Satu's inspection. With a cage filled with house mice that Tama and Poka caught in the royal capital on one hand, I teleport to the epidemic prevention laboratory using unit arrangement. This place is completely isolated from the outside world, so I can only enter here through teleportation. I put on a white lab coat, and then take out one of the mice inside the cage with magic hand. The mouse looks around the room restlessly while squeaking. Shoo! Sorry, but I'll have you go along with the experiment. I open the unwary mouse's mouth, and make it drink the upper-grade potion mixed with my blood nectar with a bulb syringe. The house mouse screamed and then it fainted. Its small body looks like it's gotten a bit stronger, its health and stamina are about to run out. I put some sugared water in the mouse's mouth, and then put it in a different cage than the first one. The sleeping face of the mouse looks somewhat happy, but that must be my imagination. I dilute the nectar with water 10 times its concentration, and then make the next mice drink it. There wasn't any who disliked it, but several of the mice collapsed. After trying it with around 10 mice, I ended the experiment and put them in the third cage. When I was about to continue the next experiment, I noticed that the mice in the cages had gotten up and were staring at me. I wonder if it's just my imagination. I can feel intelligence in the mice's eyes. The AR indicator showed that the first house mouse that I experimented with had its race changed to sage mouse. As for the rest of the mice I experimented with, 3 out of the 10 changed into sage mouse. The other 7 mice remain a mouse. I let the other mice that haven't been experimented with to drink my blood. They lick my blood with their small tongues, but their body aren't changing. Next, I drip my blood into a new upper-grade magic potion with various ratio, and then give it to the rest of the mice. The house mice aren't changing just like with my blood. Apparently, the problem is with the blood coming from the arm that has been encroached with the divinity from the divine sword. I'm relieved that I don't have to worry about something like high human appearing after having some night life. Now I can visit the pleasure quarter during the journey without hesitation. The next experiment is with the evil philosophy. I want to test what'd happen if I make a creature get close to a crystallization of miasma. Of course, I'm doing it in a laboratory located on a different area than the earlier. I'm using a small fly for this experiment. When I took the small fly close to the evil philosophy, it quickly transformed into a huge monster. It looked like it was going to attack me, so I created an elongated magic edge on my fingertip and cut the monster in half. A whitish magic core dropped down from the cross-section. Looks like there's no doubt that the miasma is the main cause of monster transformation. I put the evil philosophy into my storage, finishing the dangerous experiment. There's no doubt that the ingredients of fiend drug, ruin grass, and decay stem, are plants that attract miasma. In other words, in the place where ruin grass and decay stem are being cultivated, wouldn't the number of monsters increase? I'd like for someone to investigate it, but the ruin grass and decay stem are poisonous even in their raw forms, so it's dangerous for a normal farmer to grow it. Moreover, someone could potentially misuse it if they knew that they're ingredients of the fiend drug. Looks like I need to uproot these characteristics, and create ones, perhaps by selective breeding, that can't be misused. It'll be hard if I can't find a researcher I can trust for this. Princess Tina probably would gladly do it, but there's no way I can let a princess of the whole kingdom to deal with poisonous plants. It might be a good idea to ask the elf botanists. I head to the next laboratory with unit arrangement. After using space magic extend space to secure the space, I lay out 3-meter thick humus on the ground. Normally I should have created a ridge, but I don't have any knowledge in that area, so I do it like this. The experiment this time is the cultivation of the potato that's turned huge after absorbing the blood soaked in divinity. Even though it's a giant potato, its species is neither high sweet potato nor god potato, it's still a potato. I use the leaf of the giant potato I took out of the storage as a seedling. I plant it in the soil, and sprinkle water on it. There's no particular change. Looks like it's not a strange seed like the giant potato that suddenly grew big. In order to observe it, I made a wood puppet with magic and ordered it to watch over the cultivation. I decided to leave it for a while. I've put up a light source with light magic, so there should be no problem with photosynthesis. Master, where are you? I'm in the lab. Arisa contacted me with World Phone. I'm surprised that she could reach me at this distance without any relay. As expected of magic. Can we go play there? I don't mind, but it's a bit far, so I'll teleport you myself. Alright. I'm with Mia, so teleport us together, okay? Okay. I move to the observatory room used for resting, and then bring Arisa and Mia there. Awa. Situ. I receive Mia who jumped 3 meter long. I catch Arisa who's surprised with the sudden zero gravity, and lead her to the attached sofa. Why is it zero gravity? Void sky. Mia who was staring outside the observatory room shortly answered Arisa. Yes, this is a laboratory I've built in the outer space to prevent disaster. The laboratory where I was earlier is at 1G like on the Earth by using gravity magic, but this is the lounge for receiving guests, so I've left it at zero gravity. Where can I see the Earth? I don't think you can see it since there's no planet in the visible distance. I gave Arisa a drink in a tube while answering her. Hey, can I take out the juice from the tube and then drink it with a straw while the juice ball is floating in the air? Yeah, there's no precision instrument here, so it's okay. Alright. This experimental satellite is a simple structure of a mass of rock I made on the ground, put in the storage, taken out in the space, so there's no danger with just moisture. Arisa floated the juice ball, stabbed it with a straw and then began to drink it gleefully. Seeing that, Mia imitated her. With this I can cross out another one from the things I wanna do list. Arisa who had finished drinking the juice satisfyingly leaked out a sigh. Arisa requested, another one, while grinning and sending a peace sign, so I take out my latest creation, fruit milk. I actually wanted to take out the cola, but it was a big failure when I experimented on it alone, so I took this one out instead. As we're at it, I invite the other girls too. While swimming in the air, everyone is drinking the juice, or playing with the zero gravity, each of them are enjoying the unusualness the way they want. I also played around with childish innocence after a long time. Doing something like this once in a while is nice. The Phantom Underground Empire. I am Chuyu Fat. An excellent name given by my great master. I said, Chuyu, to gather my followers. I distribute the cheese souffle that the black-haired celestial maiden Sama has bestowed me to my followers. The celestial maiden Sama is a retainer of my great master, she's an expert cook. I take a bite too. It's truly delicious. This clear rich flavor melts my thought with my instinct. Cheese is dangerous. When I came back to my sense, the cheese souffle in the large plate had disappeared, and there were the figures of my followers sleeping with full bellies while looking satisfied. I was thinking of using their favorite food to raise their morales. Well, fine, it's natural to sleep after eating something good. I will also sleep for a bit. It has already been 10 days since I was given intelligence by my great master. The 3 of my wives who evolved together with me have all delivered children. It is good that the sage mouse species increases, but I ought to increase my servant followers too. Fighting is all about number. Because my mission is building an underground empire in this royal capital and presenting it to Master. The Green Devil hunted my servants yet again. After having a fierce fight with the sewage rats in the underground tunnel, the expansion of our newly built underground empire on the surface was hindered by that guy. In front of the devil that came sweeping down from the sky, even I, who's overflowed with intelligence, am not able to do anything. No, was not. It'll be different from now on. Swoosh, I froze when I heard sounds of flapping wings, but my fear went away when I heard the Chiyu afterward. When I turn around, I see the figures of my sons. I'm fascinated by my gallant sons who are riding on the back of the ravens. They, the Raven Riders, are the elites of our underground empire. There will be nothing that can stand against us who have attained mobility in the sky. How could this be? I can't believe that more than 10 strong Raven Riders got easily crushed. If this keeps up, my charisma as the Emperor will dwindle. I cannot fail here. I have to offer everything in this royal capital to my great master. Chiyu Chiyu. I make a speech in front of my followers and servants. Gununu, looks like it was too difficult for them, not only the servants, even the followers have fallen asleep. These guys can't understand at all that the existence of this underground empire hangs on this battle. I have my followers who are equipped with spears and shields to ride on giant ravens, and then I order us to take off while sitting on the throne installed on a giant raven. The Green Devil quickly showed itself the moment we left the chimney. Even while flinching to the sound wave attack, Pyru, we gallantly stay in the battlefield without fleeing. The magic spear long chopstick didn't faze the devil, and even the magic shield pot lid couldn't withstand the devil's beak. Before I knew it, all of my followers have been defeated by the devil. My life is only a matter of time. How could this happen? To think I, who have been created by my great master, would lose my life in such a place. Piruru. The devil who had caught me in its talon looked up to the sky and cried. Kairaun. A giant monster bigger than the Green Devil fell from the sky. The creature who landed before the devil, sat down in front of it, the reverse of what happened with me and the devil earlier. How pleasant! My life would end together with the devil, however, my descendants will inherit the empire. Now, giant monster! Eat the devil! Covering my frightened heart with haughty words, I close my eyes and wait for my end. Hey! Why is the infant dragon in a place like this? What's this? Hiswai is here too. Hey! This voice is of my great master. Kairaun. Papiru. Pyru. For some reason, the giant monster and the devil were delighted like me when they saw master. We look at each others. Apparently, these guys are servants of my great master too. As expected of my great master. I will give my all along with royal capital to you. Joining hands with the Green Devil, the ruler of the sky, and the giant monster that resembles the legendary dragon, we will dominate all. Please wait for a little bit of time, my great master Sato-sama. My loyalty will forever be with the great U.S.S. excursion. Today we're having a fun excursion Nanotasu. Once this excursion is over, Poki is going back to the Labyrinth City. She will part ways with Mabutaki and Shady Eye. It's sad Notasu. That's why, Master and Liza said, make a fun memory, while sending Poki and her friends off. March stop. We will take a break here. Upperclassmen of the night school are to take care of their underclassmen. When the Lance Corporal San with blue beard shouted out loud, Mabutaki and Shady Eye fell down on the ground and made huff-puff gasp noise. Huff, I never thought that walking in a forest would be this hard. You're really raised in the royal capital. Look at Poki-san and Tama-san. They're fine, right? Poki and Tama? It somehow felt like we were being praised, so together with Tama, Poki took a shaken pose. Oi, first year. Don't play around and rest properly. We're going to walk in the forest until the evening. Rest your body a bit now. The head of the upperclassmen hit Poki's head, giving her advice. Poki is still quite alright na noticeio. So I thought, but Poki saw Tama made a don't say it pose on her mouth, so Poki kept her silence. Poki can't get tired walking on the soft ground of the forest. When Poki played hopscotch, the upper-class Oni-san who acted as the rear guard scolded her, "Be serious. Something's strange?" Poki listened with her ears twitching. Poki can't hear anything. Poki. Looks like Tama noticed the oddness too notisu. It's strange na notisu. Poki noticed too, she nodded to Tama. What do you mean by strange, dog folk first year? Poki answers since the upperclassman headsan asked her. The forest is quiet na notisu. That's because there are a lot of us moving in it, isn't it natural? It's different notisu. The presences of the pack of wolves that were tailing Poki and the others, and the eyeball hopper that was looking here from beyond the forest both disappeared notisu. Even though Poki properly explained, the upperclassman headsan whacked Poki's head notisu. Don't say stupid things. The one who said stupid is the stupid one na noticeio. If such packs of monsters were really there, the night escort Sama and the Corporal Dano should have told us. Class headsan whacked Poki's head once again. Ouch notisu. Stop being rash if you don't want to get hit. Class headsan muttered, dang stonehead, with teary eyes while patting the hand which whacked Poki. Coming. Tama noticed it first notisu. As expected of ninja. Soldier mantis appeared. Damn it. It was hiding in a hollowed tree. This is bad, the mantis's eggs have hatched. It's a flock of child mantis. Students, make a circle and protect each other's back. Concentrate on defending, do not ever go on the offensive. When Poki was going to eliminate the monsters, the blue-bearded Corporal-san ordered her not to. Poki turned around, Tama wasn't there. Pi pu. Tama who had come back before Poki noticed mimicked a whistle. Poki knows that Tama is doing some ninja thing. The presence of the war mantis who was stealthily creeping from behind has disappeared, so there's no mistake about it notisu. Corporal. Leave the small fish child mantis to us. Understood. Us 10 will protect the students even if we were to die here. Don't die. Master always said so notisu. 3 soldiers, 57 small ones. There are 3 soldiers, but the small ones are 59 na notisu. The 2 other children are being carried on their backs notisu. Poki checked her answer with Tama. There are too few enemies, the short sword on Poki's waist feels lonely na notisu. It's not use. We can never win with just 8 knights and 16 soldiers. It would be a bit better if there were 8 upperclassmen and 16 underclassmen. Either Poki or Tama can win alone noticeio. Shady Eye who noticed that and said, if it's Poki-san and Tama-san, but he was scolded by class head-san. First year. Did you forget Corporal Dano's instruction? The only thing we can do now is by not being a burden. He's tingling, scary notisu. Senpai. We should ask the help of Kishres Galza's sisters. Class head-san is glaring at Poki with scary eyes. Did Poki do something to be scolded of? Humph, not all mithril explorers are strong. What are baggage carriers good for? Baggage carrying? Poki is good at carrying baggage noticeio. You heard that. First year be silence and sit down. Even Master praised Poki, Poki is really strong, notisu. But, if this keeps up. If you really want to be a knight, then know that your superior's order is absolute. Prepare to get expelled from the night school if you get involved. Scolded by the class head-san, Princess Kelton fell dejected. Students. Sorry. 5 child mantis are heading there. We can't afford to turn our back to the soldiers. You guys survive until we can help you. Pray? Poki matches her eyes to Tama's and nods. And, when Poki was going to jump out with Tama, class head-san glared. Underclassmen are to remain in the circle. Azo, Oris, Urats, Efna, gain some time by going one-on-one against the child mantis. It's alright, you guys can do it. Leave the rest to me. I'll reduce their number one by one. No turn? A shame Nanodesu. Child mantis's small sickle ripped the upperclassman's leg. Blood comes out, it looks really painful Nanodesu. Dame Poka Kishresgalza and Dame Tama Kishresgalza. Princess Kelton looks at Poki and Tama with a serious expression. I ask you in the name of the sixth daughter of Marquis Kelton, Diamorina. Please save Senpais and the kingdom's force. Poki also wants to help, but the order is absolute Nodesu. Senior's order is absolute. Looks like Tama is the same too. Please yield on that part. I will bear all the responsibility. That's why, please. Tears from the princess' eyes are. Please, Poki. I'd take the expulsion too if it meant that. Please, Poki Anego, Tama Anego. I will also go with you. Mabutaki and Shady Eye also asked together. This is the time to decide. Arisa said Nodesu. Faced with what is right, Zarusoba is courage Nanodesu. Poki will help everyone and get scolded by Master Nodesu. 3 days without meat will be days of hell, but Poki can't refuse Mabutaki and Shady Eye's plea. Poki, let's do. Yes Nanodesu. If Poki is with Tama, they're the invincible and the strongest Nanodesu. Poki will leave the many to Tama Nodesu. Aye sir. Poki will defeat the big soldier Mantis Nodesu. Yo-wo, Poki-san disappeared. Tama-san too there. There's a lot of Tama-san. The voice from behind quickly drowned out by the sound of battle. What? There's a small one. Is it a new enemy? Red light. Don't tell me, it's a magic sword. The equipment today is the short sword bamboo sword, so it's not a magic sword. Poki's magic bag has been left behind in the mansion. But, it's alright. Because Soldier Mantis is soft. As expected of magic sword. That hard Soldier Mantis's head was cut in one slash. The knight person is surprised, but the only one who uses a magic sword is the knight's biggest wig. Poki is not. Slipping through the second Mantis's sickle, Poki cuts its legs, like Zunbaran. Poki runs up its slanted body, and then pierces its head from behind, like Dashu, ends. Lastly, heading toward the hiding assassin Mantis on top of the 3, Ju MP and splash. Green blood spreads out. Poki kicks the tree's trunk toward the safe area. Poki is already not the same from Poki who cried from being covered in octopus's ink. There was a bit of trouble, but we had a barbecue with the wild boar Tama caught on the campsite, and defeated Flame Bug and had a campfire. It was a really fun excursion Nodesu. Poki wants to do it together with Master and everyone next time Nodesu. SS, Southern Island. The Southern Island isn't at the sea. That's right. I haven't finished the reclamation, so if you wore swimsuits there, you'd have a bad time dealing with the bugs and the beach creatures. When I told Arisa who came in swimsuit and swim ring like I was threatening her, the youth troop who entered the room following Arisa turned right back to change their clothes. I could use magic to defend against it as much as they like, but I decided not to say it. We can play on the shore after I've prepared the sandy beach. Boo boo. Don't complain with boo boo, go change your clothes. Once the reclamation is over, I'll prepare it so that we can have a vacation with swimsuits there. Hoai. Don't forget your promise, okay? Arisa went out of the room unwillingly. It's unfortunate that I can't see the charming swimsuits of the youth troop, but there will be many chances from now on, so let's postpone the fun for later. Hot. This is the southern island after all. I think it's around 38 degrees. It's only like an extremely hot day in Japan, so I think it's actually rather cool for this equatorial island. I feel like eating watermelon. NN. Arisa, who's wearing explorer-like clothes, made a request while looking like a dog during an extremely hot day. I have a lot of watermelon stocked up from Baruinan village, I'll take some out once the preparation for the reclamation is complete. Banana. Poke wants to eat pineapple notisu. Tama and Poke point their fingers to different directions while their noses are sniffing. Looking at the map, I saw that Tama pointed at bananas, and Poke was toward pineapples. Both of them have good noses. Private Tama, Private Poke. Yes. Nanotisu. When I called, the two saluted back in military style. Using mowing equipment, construct the banana highway and the pineapple line. Aye sir. Roger Nanotisu. The two took out huge orichalcum sickles out of their magic bags and equipped them. They were spirited enough, it was as if there was a clink sound. Charge. There is no road in front of Poke as it will be behind Poke Notisu. Moving at a speed that would put lawnmowers to shame, the two began to make way while pushing their way through the jungle grass. Isn't it faster if Master does it with magic? Arisa's opinion is correct, but using magic is too easy, it's boring. While chewing the cooled watermelon and pineapple, we go around the unpopulated island on an open-type flying board. At first we were exploring on foot, but on top of not having fun obstacles like bottomless swarms or wild beasts, there were a lot of mosquitoes and bugs in the thickets, so Arisa snapped. It would have been fine if she was just making noise while grumbling, but we had to stop the on-foot exploration since she was going to burn down the whole island. Swish swish. Summer means watermelon after all. Arisa, who's spitting the seeds while biting the red watermelon, has a smile on her whole face. Looks like she's back in good mood. Agreeing with Arisa, so I declare. Launching the seeds is fun, delightful. Nana bites the watermelon with a serious face. The fruit juice running along her cheeks to her breasts looks sexy. Master, please wipe it, so I appeal. Sure thing. Looks like she doesn't like sensation of the fruit juice, Nana asks while pulling her front neck with one hand. I readily consent and take out a handkerchief from the storage. Sure thing. Not. Arisa barked toward the sky while repeating my words. Arisa, you'd fall down if you stood up suddenly. Master, I'll do it for you, so please lend me the handkerchief. While scolding Arisa, Lulu quickly took the handkerchief from my hand and wiped Nana's chests on my place. Lulu was between Nana and me when she was wiping it, so I couldn't peek at the fascinating valley. Lulu, what a frightening girl. When I was imitating Arisa in my mind somehow, Mia came to me. Situ, An. Thank you, Mia. The pineapple is good too, isn't it? NN, good. I chew the pineapple that Mia fed me. The pineapples in this island have pretty good balance between sourness and sweetness. I feel that it's far more delicious than the pineapples circulating in the royal capital and the duchy capital. Pineapples are delingerous nanotisu. It is, isn't it? I agree to Poke, who's delightfully holding pineapple skewers on both hands. Apart from that, Poke, you mixed up delicious and dangerous, you know? The bananas that Tama brought were still green, so I made it ripe with an original customized version of the darkness magic's decay. Magic really is convenient. Ooh, the green banana became yellow. Seeing that, Arisa raised a surprised voice with round eyes. She likes to exaggerate like usual. Delish. Pineapples are tasty, but so do bananas, nanotisu. NN, agree. Beside everyone who's eating the bananas, Arisa made a cliché gag, do bananas count as snack, and failed hard. Since eating them just like that would be tiresome, I tried making banana shakes. The shakes were very popular, but I ended up having to make watermelon shakes and pineapple shakes too. By the way, is it alright to leave Liza-san alone? Arisa asked while looking at Liza, who was playing around with the sea monsters. Looks like Liza is making use of magic armor to create magic snowshoes to float on the sea. It seems Liza will master skydrive before long. Strange. I asked Liza to help power leveling Xena-san and the others on the shore. There's no way that Liza would get tired and went to play around, she must have a reason for it. Ah, Look look. She's waiting until Xena-san and the others have finished defeating the monster on the shore, and then lures another to them. Arisa told the situation while pointing below. I see, she's managing the monsters to make them fight Xena-san and the others in turn. Liza is fit to be an excellent manager. On the shore, Xena-san and Sira-san act as the rear guard while Lady Karina is the vanguard. The front line can't be held by just Lady Karina, who's an attacker alone, so I've deployed 10 sand golems as their shields. After encouraging Xena-san, Sira-san and Lady Karina, who were doing their best on the ground, we went back to go around the island. I made the reclamation plan while holding the map on one hand. There's an island as big as a Wahima island in the large inlet. I'm planning to make a harbor and dwelling houses near the inlet. Might as well make a palace. One that's like the one in the Arabian Night. Famu, the one with fresh cream on top of it. I'll ask Arisa to draw it later. The other girls also give their varying opinion. House of cake. House of meat. House of Hamburg steak is nice notisu. Master, house of stuffed toy is good, so I appeal. It's not clear which remark is whose, but they're imaginative ideas befitting of children. I'd like to have an oven and a steam cooker in the kitchen. I don't mind if there's no washing machine, but I'd be happy if there's a garden with roof so I can air laundry even during rainy days. Only Lulu gave a realistic opinion. She's as reliable as a housewife who's buying a house. When we went back to the shore to meet Liza and the others as the sun fell, Xena-san and the others were lying on the shade of trees. It doesn't seem like a heat stroke, it's probably the level up intoxication. There's a lot of meat, it's exciting Nanotisu. I'll help. Poke will also help with the dismantling Notisu. Tama and Poke ran toward Liza, who was draining blood and dismantling the large amount of monsters in the shore. Today, the dinner changed to barbecue in the shore. We ate the fresh seafood and the marine delicacy with relish. Thus, we forgot about the busy days in the royal capital, and fully enjoyed the vacation that harked back to summer holiday. Now then, it's back to work tomorrow. I'll get fired up and work hard. SS, Tefaliza. Tefaliza, has Kurosama contacted yet? Not yet. Elterina seems strange today. She's usually the calm, cool, collected and commanding manager of a Kaguya firm, yet today she's humming unconcernedly like she's going to dance. For her to be this merry, something really good must have happened. I wouldn't have fallen into a slave if I had the interpersonal skill to ask her, did something good happen, but it's quite hard to change my personality and sense. Someone appeared in the center of the office. It's our master and the owner of a Kaguya firm, Kurosama. Kurosama. Welcome back. Elterina quickly rushed up to our white-haired master. I and the executives favor Kurosama, but I don't think it's at her level. However, suddenly grasping Kurosama's hand, I think she lacks moderation as an employee. Even though Kurosama doesn't mind it, your fingers. Having your fingers entwined is just too much. The fingers that Elterina holds are moving toward the chest. I have to prevent it. Kurosama, this is the high priority report. Please confirm it. Okay. Kurosama breaks loose from Elterina's hands and receives the documents I presented. Elterina glared at me reproachfully, but this can't be helped, you were too much. Kurosama, could I have your time for a bit? When the report reached a point where we could take a break, Elterina asked Kurosama while blushing. What is it? Forgive me for talking about my personal affair, but I want to inform Kurosama about the matter of my engagement. The engagement that Elterina talked about is probably about the one with the neighboring Viscount Satug Pendragon. He's a mithril explorer and also the vice minister of the tourism ministry that the prime minister founded. He's also engaged to the biological little sister of the crown prince Soltrik, the sixth princess. She's Tina, a promising young noble. It's about Sir Pendragon, isn't it? Yes, it was safely broken off. She was always melancholic ever since the engagement was brought to her house by an upper noble. It seems she was that frolic because it was called off. I'm happy that you're pleased. I slightly frowned hearing what Kuro-sama had said. That's as if. Did Kuro-sama do something to it? That's right. My chest feels fuzzy even though it was a good thing. This is perhaps jealousy. The things that happened during the first day of labyrinth training flashed in my mind. At that time, I felt the same thing when I saw Elterina and the other executives being held in Kuro-sama's arms. And, embarrassment that made me feel like running off, and delight, when I was being embraced. It looks like I'm really also in love with Kuro-sama just like Elterina. Kuro-sama. I caught the waist of Elterina who was going to hug Kuro-sama with her arms open. Tifa. Kuro-sama is still talking. Toward Elterina who turned to me looking wondering, I told her that as if that was the reason all along. Have you noticed that this appearance is not my true figure? Elterina and I affirm Kuro-sama's question. It was usually perfect, but when he was looking sleepy during the end of year, the cheeks part was slightly loose, the number of seam was different, and there were some times when his speech was different. I think only Elterina and me noticed it. This figure was something I made so I could act without being tied. So Kuro-sama was really the same person as Hiro Nanashi, right? That's right. Elterina trembles in delight hearing Kuro-sama answer. I understand how she becomes like that hearing the one you love is the kingdom-saving hero. However, I think that Hiro Nanashi is also a temporary figure just like Kuro-sama's usual appearance. And, this figure is my true appearance. Wah! And no way. Elterina opened her eyes wide and inched back. Of course it's not that he's ugly. His face is a bit plain, but a face is just a piece of thin skin. It's nothing but something used to attract the opposite sex. In place of the shocked Elterina, I speak the words that she wants to say. So Kuro-sama is Viscount Pendragon. Yeah, I'm sorry for being like I fooled you. Viscount Pendragon appeared under Kuro-sama's mask. There are certainly too many common points between the two. Distinguishing themselves in a short amount of time, having no greedy desires, and no political aim, yet they became the center of the authority, and, that their strength seemed bottomless. The fact that he's surrounded with only women is also the same. Kuro-sama. Since the engagement was called off, that mean, I am. It's not because I don't like you. I'm currently courting the Queen of the Fairy, so I don't intend to go forward with other marriage proposals. Queen of the Fairy? Starting with the elves, most of the fairy can have parliament system with their elders, so the only ones that are monarchy are the Spriggan and Leprechaun kingdoms. Either way, since they're not of the same race, the possibility of the other party agreeing with the proposal is nil. Although, even accepting Princess Shiztina who was announced to be his fiancée, there are Sirasama the daughter of a duchy house, and the daughter of Muno earldom, the aloof beauty Karina-sama. Elterina has a lot of rivals. I can't help but sympathize with Elterina, but it has nothing to do with me who's a slave. Do you hear me? Tifaliza. I'm sorry, I was thinking about something else. Then, I'll say it again, okay? I'm thinking of freeing you from slavery. I want you to work at a Kaguya firm as an executive. Freeing from slavery? I'm a crime slave, so freeing me should be impossible. I've got the permission from the king. Of course, for Nell too. Kuro-sama returned a smile to my panicked words. I don't want to be freed. Going against that smile, I conveyed my wish. Why, could you tell me? I shake my head to the bewildered Kuro-sama. I am a coward. Kuro-sama probably will do bigger and bigger projects from now on, getting to even higher grounds, expanding his places of activities. Unlike Elterina who's resourceful, the only thing that I can do is filing documents. Without the bonds of slavery, I do not have the confidence to stand beside Kuro-sama. And, I cannot honestly express the favor I have like Elterina. I'm a coward who couldn't even pull Kuro-sama's hands when he brought me to the bed. Right now, not yet. Someday. When I have enough confidence to tell my feelings straight. Once I cross that, I will discard my slave position and tread my foot on the battlefield called love. Someday, standing in line with Elterina who should be respected, I want to walk that road.